We've been off to a pretty amazing start for the horror genre in the first half of 2026, in my opinion, and it looks like that hopefully could continue. So with that being said, here are 8 brand new horror movies releasing this summer to look out for. Up first is Evil Dead Burn, coming on July 9th. After the loss of her husband, a woman seeks solace with her in-laws in their secluded family home, as one by one they are transformed into deadites, turning the gathering into a family reunion from hell. She comes to discover that the vows she took in life live on even in death.
My grandfather believed the devil would return if anyone read from the Book of the Dead.
Calm down.
So I'm going to be excited for a new Evil Dead movie no matter what. It's one of the most consistent horror franchises in terms of quality, and this one is directed by Sebastian Vanacek, who directed the spider horror movie Infested from a few years ago, which I was a big fan of, so I've definitely got pretty high hopes for this one.
Cheers to your perfect family.
Then on July 24th is Pinocchio Unstrung. Influenced by Sinister Cricket and created by Geppetto, Pinocchio launches a violent crusade to carve himself into a real boy like his brother James, one piece at a time.
I just thought you could use a friend. This could be good for the both of you. It's alive.
And this is obviously a part of this universe of Disney horror parodies that we keep getting, following the Winnie the Pooh, Peter Pan, and Bambi movies. I've only seen a couple of them and they've not really been for me, even though I do usually enjoy a kind of low-budget, cheesy horror. But this franchise has clearly garnered a fan base for it to keep expanding like this, so you know, good for them. This movie also looks extremely gory, like there's a bunch of this trailer I can't even show, or I'll have to blur at least. So if that's the kind of horror you're into, then maybe this one's for you. Up next, Ice Cream Man is releasing on August 7th. An idyllic summer town descends into madness when an ice cream man serves kids sweet delights with horrifying results.
You guys see that weird ice cream man today?
What do you mean weird?
He just kept popping up, like he was following me.
And this is the new movie from infamous horror director Eli Roth. So we can expect to see some messed up shit in this movie, and this trailer is definitely looking that way so far. The amount of kills shown even in just this 2-minute trailer is kind of insane. So I can only imagine how much blood and guts we're actually going to get in this movie. Getting children involved in the horror and the violence is always going to be a bit of a taboo, even though I feel like that's less controversial nowadays, it's a bit more common. We've had a few movies in recent years with killer kids, and I'm not surprised to see Eli Roth bringing us his own interpretation. And releasing on that same date, August 7th, is Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma. After years of slapdash sequels and waning fandom, the Camp Miasma slasher franchise is handed over to an enthusiastic young director for resurrection, but when she visits the original star, a now reclusive actress shrouded in mystery, the two women fall into a blood-soaked world of desire, fear, and delirium.
If you've seen his movies, you know he always comes back.
I love a horror movie that's about horror movies, where they've like created their own made-up franchise within it. And this killer design is so unique with that cube-shaped mask, it looks really cool. And this is directed by Jane Schoenbrunn, who also made I Saw the TV Glow. So you can bet this movie is gonna be queer, colourful, and very atmospheric. Another one coming out on August 7th is The Last House. A family of 4 are suddenly sealed inside their home with no way out, and must work together to survive against both their dwindling resources and the mysterious looming threat that is keeping them trapped.
I saw someone outside today.
What is something out there? It's keeping us trapped.
This sci-fi horror is releasing straight to Netflix, and it seems a bit mysterious what's actually going on in this movie, which I like. Is this like a virus, or aliens, or something with the government that's putting them on lockdown like this? Clearly this family have no idea, but after more and more time passes, they want answers. Seems like there is something supernatural going on based off some of the visuals in this trailer, but I don't want to spoil too much for myself or for you, so I'm definitely intrigued to see whatever is really going on in this movie. Coming out on August 14th is The End of Oak Street. The Platt family bands together to navigate their new surroundings after a cosmic event transports their suburban neighborhood to someplace unknown.
Looks like the whole neighborhood's lost power.
The hell was that?
And yes, this one doesn't look fully horror necessarily, maybe more sci-fi thriller kind of vibes, but it's still a creature feature, so I'm counting it. It's directed by David Robert Mitchell, who directed It Follows, and it might honestly be the film out of all of these recommendations that I'm the most excited for. I've said it on my page multiple times already, but I'm a sucker for a big budget dinosaur movie, and I feel like we don't get enough, or at least not enough good ones, but this one looks like it's going to be a fun time for sure.
Hey! Get away from them!
Up next, Insidious Out of the Further is coming out on August 21st. Gemma, a young mother raising her daughter in the house she grew up in, discovers she can travel into the Further, where she possesses an ability to bring what lives there back to the real world. So the Insidious franchise has obviously been pretty up and down. I feel like they've always been chasing the quality and impact that first movie had, but this spin-off definitely sounds like a unique interpretation at least. There's a lot you could do with the concept of the Further, so I'm glad they're pushing that aspect more. I feel kind of 50-50 about this one, it could go either way for me, but I hope it's able to bring this franchise back to what it used to be, or at least give us some good scares, hopefully. And then releasing on August 28th is Colony. Professor Se-Chong is thrust into a bloody nightmare when a rapidly mutating virus is released during a biotech conference, causing authorities to seal the facility. Trapped inside with no escape, Se-Chong, along with a small group of survivors, must fight to stay alive while the infected undergo horrific transformations. The way these zombies move in this trailer is so creepy to me. It looks like they're almost operating as like a hive mind, maybe, which could be interesting. And this is directed by Yeon Sung-ho, who is best known for Train to Busan, which is widely considered one of the best zombie movies of all time. So this man has some good experience with zombie/virus-based movies, which is a pretty great sign for Colony. It feels like zombie movies have been back on the rise again after kind of dying out in popularity a little bit, it feels like. I don't know if that's just me, but I am not mad about that at all. Fall 2 Deadpoint is coming on September 9th. Overwhelmed by her sister Hunter's death, Jax connects with Luce, Hunter's fearless friend. To heal, they attempt the infamous plank walk of Mount Kwan in Thailand, but after a sudden rock slide leaves them stranded on a fragile plank 3,000 feet in the air, Jax must confront her deepest fears and fight for survival to find closure. I'm not even particularly scared of heights, but some of these shots make my heart sink. So if you do have a severe fear of heights, this might be a bit of a rough watch for you. But it is one of the most common fears in the world, so I'm not surprised to see these movies get such a reaction out of people. And honestly, I'm surprised we don't get more movies that play off a fear of heights more often. And on September 18th, capping off the end of summer, is Resident Evil. Brian, a medical courier, is in the process of making a delivery when a sudden outbreak occurs, forcing him to fight for survival. I guess this has been kind of controversial online among Resident Evil fans, saying it's not related enough to the games or whatever. I can't really speak much on that, but it seems like, from an outside perspective at least, that this franchise is constantly switching it up anyway. I don't see an issue with having a spin-off with its own story and own characters, but just set in the same universe.
And it looks like there's a chance that we might not get to talk to each other again.
I've seen it described as just being relentless, non-stop action and tension throughout the whole thing, which sounds like a lot of fun to me. And it's directed by Zach Cregger, who of course made Weapons and Barbarian, so I kind of trust anything he puts his hands on at this point, but yeah, definitely very excited for this one. But I want to know which of these horror movies you're the most excited to see. There's quite a few movies that haven't been given release dates here in the UK, so I wasn't able to include them. So let me know if there's any movies I haven't mentioned that you're also looking forward to. And if you want more horror content, please make sure to subscribe, I really appreciate it, and thank you for watching.